And I wonder if you know there's a risk of Rain Part 2.
Risk of Rain 2, I owe you an apology. I didn't give this game a fair shot when I first played it. My introduction to Risk of Rain was actually Risk of Rain Returns, and I loved it. Tight 2D action, banger music, and that addicting roguelike loop. But when I booted up Roar 2 on the Switch, choppy frame rate, overwhelming visuals, and a third dimension I wasn't ready for. I dropped it like a rusty syringe. But now, I get it. I really get it. Risk of Rain 2 has become one of my favorite games, ever. And if you rejected it like I did, let me try to change your mind. Let's talk about the jump from 2D to 3D. Hyco Games? Pretty sure it's Hyco. Hyco Games went full mad scientist for this sequel, taking a beloved pixelated roguelike and tossing it into full-on third-person chaos. That's like turning Celeste into Dark Souls. And it works. Eventually. At first, it's disorienting, especially on Switch, with the low frame rate, makes you feel like you're watching a slideshow of your own death. Add in projectiles flying at you from across a foggy alien landscape, and it's a lot. But when you get into the groove, when you start to recognize enemy types, when movement becomes instinctive and you stack a build that makes you a literal god, it clicks. It's addictive, and it rewards experimentation in a way that few games manage. Now, Risk of Rain 2 is a roguelike, but not in a punishing start from nothing and cry about it way. It's modular. Every run is a story. You start weak, barely scrapping by, and then suddenly you're sprinting at Mach 5, melting bosses with 12 ukuleles strapped to your spine. What makes it brilliant is the item system. It's not just about stacking damage, it's about weird synergies. One run you might turn into a melee bruiser with gasoline trails, another you might spam fireworks and hover in the air forever. It's a sandbox, and while randomness is a part of the appeal, there's a logic to the chaos, risk and reward, and perfect balance. That being said, if we're going to talk about the good, we also got to talk about the ugly. Now here's where things got messy. Gearbox. When they took over publishing duties, a lot of longtime fans braced for the worst. There were complaints about pricing, delays, and the direction of updates. Some people felt that the soul of the game was slipping. But in my opinion, the handoff wasn't a death sentence. Sure, some decisions were corporate, but it's not like the game stopped being good. In fact, some of the best stuff came after. Survivors of the Void expansion added more depth, crazy items, and new characters. And while not every balanced patch made the community happy, that's just how modern games work. Fans care because the game is good, passion breeds criticism, and honestly, that's better than silence. Unpopular opinion time. Yes, I like Chef. Yes, even before the update, or the patch. I thought the design was weird and clunky, but in a fun way. Chef felt like the underdog survivor, with serious late game potential if you knew what you were doing. And that's something I love about Risk of Rain as a whole. It wants you to put the time in. It wants you to fail. Not in a cruel way, but in a way that says, hey, next time, you'll know better. Chef isn't perfect, neither is Risk of Rain 2. But man, that janky charm, that's part of the reason I'm still playing it. Kind of like the way Mario 64 has its glitches, and to this day people are still exploiting those said glitches. That's the kind of charm that I look for in games from time to time. So yeah, I slept on Risk of Rain 2, but now I'm wide awake, sprinting through alien worlds with 40 crowbars and a dream. If you tried this game and bounced off, especially if you played it on Switch, I get it. But if you can, give it another shot. Play it on PC or console. Play it with friends. Heck, mod it up if that's your thing. Because Risk of Rain 2 isn't just a great roguelike. It's one of the most replayable, expressive, chaotic games out there, and it deserves your time. Hey, thanks for watching. If you got a Risk of Rain hot take, drop it in the comments. I'm always down to argue about this game. And yeah, I'm dropping this video right before the newest update hits, but that's kind of the point. If you're new, or you're on the fence, now it's the perfect time to jump in and get your footing before the chaos gets turned up a notch. So play a few runs now, learn the ropes, and then when the update lands, you'll be ready to reign. Don't forget to like and sub if you enjoyed this dive, and I'll see you in the next one.
And I wonder if you know there's a risk of rain part 2.